Hello. My name is Carl, and welcome to the first ever unboxing episode of the Cat Golf Show. Now, this is a special episode. I just uploaded the most recent episode I filmed yesterday, which was Wednesday. I'm out of breath, sorry. But today is Thursday, and it is June 5th, and it is, as you can tell by what is in center frame here, or at least I hope is center frame, it is Nintendo Switch 2 Day. And this is the first ever time that I've pre-ordered a console and gotten it on day one. When the Switch 1 came out, and I may have mentioned this in a past video, I didn't get it until 2 years later because I was 17 when the Switch 1 came out in 2017. Obviously, I got my first job that year, that summer, and buying a Switch 1 wasn't something that I was interested in doing at the time. I was more so interested in buying a 3DS, which I didn't have until that point. So yeah, 2 years later, after I'd saved up enough money from working a few jobs, I bought my Switch 1. But now it is many years later, and we have the launch of the Switch 2. As you can see, or as you could see, I got the Mario Kart World edition of the Switch, which is an extra like $50, but I didn't want to pay the $80 to get the physical copy of Mario Kart World, though I do prefer to get the physical edition of games, just because I like to have them. Steam is pretty much the only digital game library that I like to have. Like when it comes to console gaming, and I usually only play Nintendo consoles, I like to have physical copies of the games, just because you never know. Nintendo always fucking like screws over their fans, and they take down their servers and all that stuff. So it's like with the Nintendo 3DS eShop, they took down their servers before I had a chance to buy like all the games that I really wanted to have for my 3DS. So you just never know what they're going to do with their servers. So when it comes down to it, I like to have physical games. But this time I splurged. I got the Switch 2 version with Mario Kart World just because it's cheaper. It was cheaper to get this bundle than it was to get the separate game. So as you can see, this just arrived this morning. It is pretty early in the morning, to be honest. I got my pre-order this day one of launch when they first announced pre-orders. Got it that night. I woke up at midnight that night, got the pre-order, secured it on Walmart. Don't ask me how I did it. I've tried to do that in the past with like Tears of the Kingdom, the deluxe edition, with Metroid Dread, the deluxe edition. Did not work. Did not get it until the day that the games dropped. I was up until midnight. Got a pre-order the day that it dropped. I got this like a month and a half ago, however long ago that they announced the Switch pre-orders. So yeah, enough yapping. How about we get into it? I'm sorry already about like the framing and stuff. This is probably going to be the most unprofessional unboxing that you see today from YouTube, just because I don't have a professional camera. Like I said, I record this on my iPhone, which is on a tripod across the room from me. I don't have professional lighting, so the lighting is shit, and I'm sorry, and I shouldn't be talking shit about my set here, but it just is the fact of the matter here. I'm sorry. The image quality may not be the best. I may take pictures of the Switch 2 and the stuff inside the box itself and intersplice it in with this footage just so you guys can get a clearer picture, because I know the picture's probably not the clearest just from the distance across the room that you guys are. So, alrighty. We are sliding into the Switch 2 unboxing here. And I may be opening this the wrong way. Actually, yeah, let me flip this over here. Doing it the wrong way. Ooh, okay. Wow. Alright, here we go. I don't know how well you guys can see this, but I'll hold up the box. You can see, hopefully, there's the console itself, I believe, the Switch 2, and then we have the Joy-Cons. Now, I was kind of miffed that the Joy-Cons this time around, oh wow, they got some, yeah, they're definitely bigger than the Switch 1 Joy-Cons, for sure, and they've got some heft to them. They attach magnetically to the console. I want to slip it out here. Yeah, but anyway, as I was saying, I was kind of miffed that they didn't have just a gray version, because my Switch, I'm boring. My OG Switch, I know a lot of people preferred the red and blue Joy-Cons. I thought it was, like, weird, the color combination. I would have preferred either 2 red Joy-Cons or 2 blue Joy-Cons. I didn't like the switching multicolor ones. The exception being is the green and purple ones, because those are my 2 favorite colors, and I did like that later on in the Switch 1's life cycle, they released the green and purple ones. I never got them, but I did like them. But yeah, red and blue, they don't have a standard gray, unfortunately, but that is what it is. It's fine, not a big deal. Already I can tell this is much bigger than the OG Switch, and I do have my OG Switch on standby, and I can compare it at some point in this video perhaps. Here is the tablet itself. It definitely feels much heavier, beefier than the Switch 1. That is for sure. Let's lift out our little plastic here. I can see, oh, what do we have in here? Oh, okay, we got the instruction booklet. Definitely going to be looking at that. Just kidding, no, I'm not. We have the Joy-Con grips to help make them easier to hold. I never use these. I've literally never put these on my OG Switch. I literally never used those because I prefer to play with the Pro Controller, which I didn't get until like maybe a year after I got my OG Switch or whatever. So yeah, but I just never found these really too useful just because the straps, I don't play a lot of games that require the swinging around. And I'm also not a child anymore, at least last time I checked. HDMI cable, that's nothing too important. USB-C, I believe this is... Oh yes, this is for the wall adapter, which is thick this time around. It's like an Apple charger, essentially, just the USB-C to USB-C for the wall adapter, which y'all don't really care about, I don't think. Here is the actual Joy-Con grip that the Joy-Cons magnetically attach. Don't know if you can see that. They magnetically attach into the side. I did use this a fair bit before I got my Pro Controller, just because it's easier than holding the separate Joy-Cons. At least that's how I preferred to play it before I got my Pro Controller. I did not spring for the new Pro Controller this time around because it's $80. And apparently the OG Switch 1 Pro Controller works on the Switch 2. It just doesn't apparently turn on the console for whatever fucking reasons. Like, Nintendo just does these it's just little things that they do to try to, like, piss off fans, I guess. Buy our newest Pro Controller for $80 with the little C button. Like, nothing is different about the controller. It just has the C button on it. So... But yeah, the OG Switch controller, like the Switch 1 Pro controller, is an amazing controller. I use it actually for PC gaming because thankfully it connects to PCs. So that's what I use when I'm playing. Because right now I'm playing Final Fantasy VII, the remake, on my PC, and it's fucking amazing. I love that game. I was going to do it with keyboard and mouse, but it's like, before you start the game, it's like, controllers recommended. So I was like, fuck it, let me use my my Switch controller. So yeah, I've been using that. All right, and we have the last thing in the box here, which is the dock, which is definitely beefier than the OG Switch 1 dock. You can see pretty thick. I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, this one has fans in it to cool down the Switch 2 because it's got, obviously it's better specs. So you can see there's holes in the bottom here for the air to circulate when you're running your console so that it doesn't overheat or whatever. The back completely comes off here, and you can see there's an Ethernet cord, there's an HDMI out, and there is an AC adapter out for charging your Switch 2. Oh, and there's also two USB Type A ports on the side here for whatever reason. So, wow, here we go. I don't think I'm gonna boot it up in this unboxing just because I wanted to do like an unboxing video, just sort of unbox everything. And I know everything is still in the plastic wrapping here because I'm super particular about, smudging my stuff up with fingerprints and all that. But yeah, this is sort of the basic unboxing here. And I should, I guess, for the sake of this, slide out the tablet here just so I can connect the Joy-Con so you guys can get that satisfying click here. Let me get out my Joy-Cons here. Ooh, they feel so nice. I hate to get my fingerprints on this stuff. All right, guys, first click here. Oh, that's sweet, man. That is fucking sweet. Okay, here we go. All right, this thing is fucking big, dude. Compared to the OG Switch, I'm going to get that in just... Oh, I just, showed this to my mic. Compared to the OG Switch, this thing is huge. It's got the nice new stand on the back. See, I never really used the Switch stand, the OG Switch stand. But I know a lot of people complained about it because it was just a little tab on the side here, but this one goes across the whole back, which I think they modeled after the OLED Switch one, because the Switch stand on the OLED model I think was similar to this, but you can see for tabletop play, you've got this stand that goes pretty much all the way down. I never played my Switch this way personally, so it didn't bother me, but I can see why fans would want a better Switch stand. And there's also, I believe, the SD slot, is right underneath here. You can't see it on the camera, but it's not really that important. Everything feels so nice, man. Let's see, the buttons are nice and clicky. Everything feels very responsive. The Joy-Cons themselves, like the analog stick on the Joy-Cons, feels much nicer than the analog sticks on the OG Switch one. Which, funny thing, my OG Switch gray Joy-Cons, which I've had since I had the console, since I got it in 2019, have finally started Joy-Con drifting. They never did that. They've been in a bag away because I haven't used them in years, because I stopped using them when the Skyward Sword Hylian Joy-Cons came out, when Skyward Sword HD Remaster, whatever, launched in 2021. So yeah, I haven't used them, but I just recently took them out to charge them, because every now and then I take them out and charge them just to make sure they're still working. And of course, now they've started drifting. So, all right, let's do one unclick just for the video here. Oh, okay. A little bit of resistance here when I'm trying to unclick it here. You gotta really, you really gotta push down on this little button on the back here to release the Joy-Cons. I guess so that's when you're playing, you don't accidentally, let's get like it. You don't accidentally undo the Joy-Cons when you're playing. But yeah, guys, wow. Let me take a break here to run over to the side and get my OG Switch. Wow, and it is a night and day difference. As you can see, those Joy-Cons that I was talking about. Sorry, my Switch is a little bit dusty. I've not played it in a minute. Let's get the comparison shot here. Holy shit. Look at the size difference in these two, guys. Look at it. Look at that. Big difference. About the same thickness. I'll say this might actually be thinner, a little bit thinner, but the screen is almost this. The screen on this one, on the Switch 2, is almost the size of the entire Switch 1. So feels heavier, beefier. It's got a nicer stand, nicer Joy-Cons, nicer screen. This looks immaculate. It looks incredible. I'm super, super, super excited to boot up Mario Kart, get my account information logged in, and all that stuff. I also might replay Tears of the Kingdom, since I've not replayed that since it launched, but I know that with the NSO subscription, the Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom updates are free for the Switch 2. So thankfully I get those free, because I probably would not have paid for them otherwise. But I'm super excited to boot this thing up, get my account information logged in, see how it works. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I really appreciate it, the likes and comments on the last couple videos. I know I've sort of been all over the place, and I've started uploading my videos out of order now, which is going to complicate things. In older videos, I start mentioning other things that I mentioned in videos that came later. So I'm sorry for the confusion in advance. This is the latest video that I'm recording now. Is not, it's just, never mind. I don't know where I was going with that. Just never mind. Yeah, so thank you so much for watching. Thanks for the likes and comments on the previous videos, guys. Happy Switch 2 Day. I am feeling quite joyous today. I'm quite happy that I didn't expect it to come so early. I got the notification when I was on my way back from the gym that it was delivered, and I was like, I didn't expect it at all to be delivered so early. But absolutely incredible. Super, super excited. So thanks, guys, for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Ta-ta.